water and a handful of rocks, and we have some light. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the TechnologyTinker YouTube channel. I know this is a little bit, seems like out of the ballpark of technology, but I kind of like to go back a little bit some days and see how technology has evolved. This is a auto light calcium carbide lamp, other words known as a miner's lamp. Here's what these run off of. These don't run off what like everything else these days runs off of. These stupid batteries. These run off of calcium carbide, which is these little tiny rocks. I don't know a lot about it, but what happens is these little rocks go in this bottom bin. Let's get this unthreaded. So you put your rocks, calcium carbide, down in here. And then this has got a little tiny hole right here. See that little line all the way around there? I'll show you here in a second. That's where all the water comes out. So what happens is water, which is stored in this top tank, when turning this little clicker, will unthread this just a little bit to where water will come down and drip. It hits the calcium carbide, makes acetylene gas, and then this is my filter ring, or yeah, I think the filter spring. I'm sorry, filter spring. I gotta remake one of those because mine was worn out, but I just got a piece of felt, and that keeps your calcium carbide, because it naturally puts off a little bit of like waste rock, I guess you could call it, so you don't want to clog your orifice up. But then that acetylene gas that is made when water comes in contact with the calcium carbide, the gas naturally rises, goes through this hole, and comes out here. That's pretty much just a simple explanation of how it works. So that goes on there. And this model, I don't know if this came on all the auto light miner's lamps, but it had this special grip called the bumper grip. I'm surprised it's even held up as good as it has. It's like a hard rubber. Right there you can see Universal Lamp Co. Springfield, Illinois is where these were made. And it is brass. So yeah. The snaps on the bottom. This would keep the miners from when unscrewing this, because this does get a little warm to the touch. It doesn't like burn you, but you can feel it. It's right on the edge. So that would help them get this off more, and that's why it's just dry rotted. It just the natural heat drying it out. So we're going to light this thing up. There's a few YouTube videos on it. I don't really show you how to light it. This right here I got off eBay. I had a viewer ask where I got my calcium carbide. I had to search high and low, and this is about the only company that I could find that still harvest this. And you do not want this to get wet. But HQ company, they sell it on eBay. I think this is a 16-ounce jar. I think it was like $40, but this will last you a while. So here, let me get a glove real quick. Doesn't hurt to be cautious. So here they are. Little tiny rocks. That's all they are. So, let me get our bottom container. And the year on this, I had a chart. I can't remember the exact year that this lamp is, but it was pretty old. and it still functions. This is all the original parts in it. I have not replaced anything in it yet other than the felt. I did have to change it because it didn't even have a piece in it before. It was just a piece of cloth. The gentleman I got it off of, it was just a piece of cloth that was inside that they had for their filter. And anytime, just a note, when you're storing this stuff, it's best to have, like, I'm just using a Ziploc bag, really. There's probably better options even than this. With a silica gel pack, like maybe even throw one inside the can, but just to help keep that, have no water in there. And I will pound that down later, but it's still a little bit loose. It's like a paint can. So I just got a little bit down in here, you can see. So now I'm gonna thread this in. First, actually, see there, that's why I gotta change my felt clip. One side's broke off, so I gotta make a new one of those, probably out of a probably like a soup can lid or something. So let me get a container here real quick so you guys can see how this water comes out of this. Now we are going to zoom in and we're going to turn it on. You can see that right there. You see that? Let me slow it down here a little bit. See, it drips around this edge and comes down. That'll drip right on top of the calcium carbide and make our acetylene gas, which is what we need for it to work. And like I said, the way you increase your flame is you increase your water, which is by this. You just click that. So you can see here, you can get a steady stream of water going. But you don't never really need that much. I usually run it about half. I find that's usually pretty good. And we'll turn the lights out here in a second. I'll give you guys a comparison. Probably just compare it to my phone light. So, let's see here. Right there you can see. See that? That's the acetylene gas. And you hear it. That's what we're making. So we're going to put that in there. Now I'm not going to guarantee you this is going to work first time, but we're going to put it about right here. You put your hand on the front reflector. I can hear it bubbling. You can hear that. So just doing its magic, and then we're going to strike, pull my hand towards me, and it's going to make a loud pop and hopefully light it. See there? I told you, first time probably won't. And I'll cut out all the failed attempts. There we go. There she is. Sometimes it'll pop louder than that, and sometimes it'll be slower. So let's get it regulated here. And it'll take it a second. We're just going to set that there and let it do its thing real quick. And I'm going to turn out the lights so you guys can see this thing. Now, I've just got a Samsung Galaxy S21 base model. I'm going to compare the light to. So, let's kill the lights. There it is. I just got a small window behind me that's barely got any light coming through it. And you can see, that's the beam. And that is with the level. Camera's having a, it's really hating me right now, but it's right there, you can see it. The level for the water. So there is the carbide lamp. And here is my Samsung Galaxy S21. So definitely not the brightest, but it's enough that it gives you plenty of light. I would say it's probably, just guessing, it's probably about 10 or 15 lumens, possibly 20. But yeah, and then you can, that noise you just heard, I turned the gas down a little bit. And usually, this will even, let's see if the camera will focus right on our flame here. Yeah, there we go. This will usually come out to about right here. You want it to come out about 1.5 inches. It just, I didn't put enough rocks. But I can crank the water up more so we can get more gas, which gives us more light. And it'll come out a little bit more. But yeah, so that's how these work. Really, really cool. I've wanted one for years, but it is hard to find these that are actually complete. So let's turn the lights back on. And then to put these out, I just usually kick it over and I let it sit like that until all the extra gas, acetylene gas that's down here in the tank, is gone. So then that just makes it a little bit more safer. So yeah, that is a carbide lamp. Not really much to it. And the only thing that can really break on these is, or like wear out I should say, is the flint. That's about the only thing that could ever really get old, is the flint. The flint can, like mine now, that's why I had some trouble getting it lit. So you can see it's going down lower now. It's using up the rest of the gas. It's inside the tank. And if you fill that up, I was thinking I read somewhere you can have like an hour, I think it was. Maybe 45 minutes, like an hour of light. So yeah, that is it. The Autolite carbide lamp. And just in case any of you have one of these and you do want to restore it, I didn't take a video of me restoring mine, but I used Brasso on this. Brasso and a microfiber cloth. I took aluminum foil and just water and polished that up. That had a little bit of pitting on it, but that cleaned up really nice. So yeah, I'm going to even go ahead and break this thing down and show you all the parts here. Okay, so there is all the pieces of the lamp. That's pretty much it. I mean, this, you can't really take it apart much more than this. The only piece that I have left together is the striker. And it just has this little cap right here. You can hear that. That is a spring. Let's get the camera to focus on that. It's a spring, and this just acts like a regular, average lighter. Here's your flint, right here. It drops in to here. Spring keeps tension on it, and this strikes it. That is pretty much normal. Nothing too fancy with that. And then it has a nut right here. And this is like got a built-in bolt, and that's how that clamps on there. So now that will, see there, that does work. So let's put this back together. Put your filter, your belt clip, and then this, I thought this was kind of weird yet unique. I don't know if the miner made this or if Universal Lamp Company made these, but that perfectly matches the contour of the carbide lamp. You can see there is no gap in there, and it's like, it looks like that is handmade and hammered to fit that. I'm sure someone had to really done this for a while for it to match up that good. As you can see, there's not even no light around the edges. I mean, it is perfect fit. So you put that there, and then you take your reflector, and they do make these a lot bigger. You just line this little groove right here, this little nubbin on the back with that line, and then you place the washer and thread on this little wing nut. And before I do that, right here, this little black piece, let's get the camera to focus. This little black piece, that is where the flame comes out, of course, but I thought this was threaded in here. Well, it's not. Mine got clogged up. It's actually like a gas compression sleeve. So when you thread this on here, this tightens down around this pipe and will compress that around the orifice, little nozzle, and that is what holds that in there. That is not threaded, so you want to make sure that is tightened down pretty good. And mine, it doesn't come out once it's in there. Like, I couldn't even pull it out earlier, but I had to take mine out and take a guitar string, the smaller one, and push it through there to clean the nozzle out. That was about the roughest part on mine. And the rest of this, it just you just snap it together, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, tried to do a detailed video for you guys because there is not many videos on these. You can, if you want one of these, the best place is pretty much go to antique stores, flea markets, pick your one up. This one I think probably would have been around $40 probably if it was in an antique store compared to the other ones I have seen. But you can buy these new, but they're around $70, and I just don't know how good they are. But you can buy them. There's a company that makes them. I think Amazon sells them. But if they do, I'll put a link in the description just in case you guys want to pick you up one of these, because they're great for powder allergists. There is hardly no smell. There's just a little bit, and it doesn't really smell like a candle. I don't know how to describe what it smells like. It's just like almost like a vinegar smell. It almost smells like vinegar. Vinegar and smoke mixed. But there isn't even much of that smell. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video of the calcium carbide lamp. And there is way more videos coming just like this and more. If you guys are into this kind of stuff, please like the video so we can see what kind of content you most like. And subscribe so you get notified on other cool videos. If you have any restorations or cool projects you are working on, please feel free to post them on the TechTinkerersHQ Reddit page, link in the description. As always, I'm the Technology Tinker. Have a blessed day and happy tinkering on your favorite projects.